In a faraway land known as the Abyss lies a nation called Dogmatica. The Dogmatica nation is a religious nation led by the Dogmatica Church and the High Priest Maximus. It is home to warriors and saints alike who protect their religion and their icon, the Nexus. Ecclesia and Fleur-de-Lis, two of Dogmatica's saints, hear a loud noise and commotion coming from outside the church while preparing for a religious ceremony.
I think this one hits harder though, just how the story progresses, and then Fleur-de-Lis ends up dying, and then Ecclesia almost died. Who else? I don't know. I think Albaz's lore is just very, very, very well done.
A blazing red fireball descends from a hole in the sky, crashing into the land below. When the dust settles, an ashen silver dragon appears. Saint Fleur-de-Lis arms her.
And the Ice Shades get wiped out for just existing. Yeah, they just got in the middle of the fight, and then they just got eradicated, all of them. That's fucked up too.
And strikes a yellow light.
And then not even to mention the betrayal from Long Yuan too. He killed Mo Yi and he killed Chang Ying.
From her sword upon the dragon, swiftly disabling it. The dragon is defeated. In its place appears a boy, the fallen of Albaz.
No, they was minding their business. That's true. They weren't in the mix though? They weren't communicating somehow? Or they literally just were there? Nah? Yeah, that's terrible.
Fleur-de-Lis aims to finish the job, but Ecclesia shows the boy compassion. The church, on the other hand, does not. From afar, a loud gunshot is heard. Ferjit of the Tri-Brigade fires the opening shot, while the rest of her rebel warrior beasts fly in to claim Albaz for themselves and help him and Ecclesia escape the capital.
Only when Albaz found him, they got wiped. He literally is bringing trouble everywhere he goes, though. They either get into it with a random-ass dragon, and then they... There's been some every episode, damn near, of the actual anime.
The Ashians, in an act of desperation, cast a spell that pains and burns the mark on Ecclesia's forehead. A mark that is common among all Dogmatica saints, known as the Stigmata.
That's funny.
Feeling Ecclesia's pain, Albaz transforms into Brigrand, the Glory Dragon, taking on the Stigmata on himself and allowing the Tri-Brigade to fight their way out of the nation safely. It's a full-on brawl as the two leaders of the opposing nations fight brutally in the sky. The Tri-Brigade manage to escape and make their way...
I think, this fight... Oh, wait, I went too far. Damn. This has been the best fight scene in the anime, I think, still. That shit was so clean.
The Tri-Brigade manage to escape and make their way back to their home, the desert of Golgonda. In the great sand sea known as Golgonda, the Tri-Brigade...
Doesn't this make you want to play the deck too? It's weird. I was just thinking, I'm about to play this shit out of White Forest.
Group and can now relax after helping the now exiled...
I'm trying to summon Diabellstar for no reason.
Ecclesia and Albaz escape the wrath of the church. Shereg, leader of the Tri-Brigade, supplies the couple with a little mechanical bird and sends them off on a journey to find an engineer from the Tri-Brigade crew who dwells deep in the Golgonda desert. While on the search...
Y'all been playing DC Cup or what?
After days of traveling, the duo is suddenly bombarded by missiles and rockets from every direction. As the fire rains upon the two, Albaz transforms into Sprind, the Iron Dash Dragon, and a chase is underway. The Springans, who are the inhabitants of this part of the desert, manage to catch up and take down Sprind, capturing Albaz and Ecclesia.
I'm building that shit too.
While in captivity, a young girl walks in and identifies the little mechanical bird that is accompanying the duo. Her name is Kit, of the Tri-Brigade Warriors. She has been working with the Spring...
And I almost got 3K saved up for the Labyrinth pack too. I still haven't bought that yet.
Springans for a while on developing a new revolutionary armament for the Tri-Brigade, and thankfully, she tells the Springans that the two came for her. The Springans listen and release them. Back in Dogmatica, Maximus reveals his true self. The stigmata, the mark on the Dogmatica people's foreheads, was not a religious marking, but actually a trigger, a switch. With the cast of a spell, the Dogmatica become evil, creating the Despia.
Man, there's no, there's a sinful spoils field. It's the, I guess that's what, when they go underground, and then they get ambushed by Flamberge. I guess that's the scene, right? But they should make an actual white forest field. I would buy that so fast.
The hole above the nation opens wider as the land below cracks and tears apart. Rises the theater of the branded. The corrupted Despia begin their assault on the people of Dogmatica, and as a last resort, the Tri-Brigade return to the capital to try to hold off the newly revealed evil forces. From the hole in the sky descends another figure. Aluber, the Jester of Despia, joins the battle. With some striking similarities to the Fallen of Albaz, this Jester is marked in red and not in white. With his wings open, he transforms into the blaze.
I like the field and all, but they didn't do any special music for it, so it's just kind of like, eh. That kind of, I don't know, that kind of takes away from the uniqueness of the field to me, and how much I with it, really.
Seeing Dragon masquerade to help continue the conquering of the Dogmatica nation by the evil Despia. In the desert, a hole in the sand begins to open. A hole similar to the ones in the skies above Dogmatica. The ground shakes as a great serpent rises up to attack the Springans. Albaz senses the impending danger and transforms himself
This is where we are in the anime too.
into Albion, the branded dragon. The dragon roars and flies to protect Ecclesia and the Springans, while above, a trio of mysterious warriors suddenly appears. The great serpent is struck down by yellow lightning, with Albion the dragon getting in the way and suffering from the ricochets himself. While the lightning was enough to defeat the great serpent, it did not defeat Albion. Instead, it causes Albion to shed his bright, blazing orange skin, and as Ecclesia
He falls in love with it right here.
comforted, the dragon reveals his black scaled coat underneath. The three warriors are identified by the group. It's Fleur-de-Lis, Theo, and Aiden from back home in Dogmatica, but they seem different. They have been on a journey and are wearing different clothing from a different unknown culture, a land far away. The trio tells the boy and the girl about their journey, how Fleur-de-Lis was almost turned into an evil Despia by the powers of Maximus, how they escaped to the sacred summit of the Sword Soul to relieve the curse inflicted upon Fleur-de-Lis with the help of the Ice Jades and help seal their stigmatas, preventing them from turning into evil Despia. They will now make their way back to Dogmatica to continue their fight against the Despia forces. In order to recruit the Sword Soul to fight against the Despia, Ecclesia and Albaz head to the summit as well. In the Sword Soul Temple, Ecclesia and Albion explain the situation to the Sword Soul leader and are accepted into the tribe.
Chang Ying is just, I don't know, he's just cool as shit.
They join the warriors of the Sword Soul, and
And his name is clean.
Ecclesia is accepted as one of their own. However, not all Sword Soul have good intentions. The tribe's strategist, Longyuan, has plotted to combine forces with the Despia and help them defeat the Dogmatica nation. Late at night, the portal opens at the summit.
His skin is green, so you can't trust that guy, I guess.
And under the cover of darkness, the Despia invasion on the Sword Soul sacred land begins. Kit, the honorary Springans warrior, accompanied by the captain of the Springans, Sargas, make their way to the land of Iron. The land of the Dis Colosseum contains the power that fuels the Tri-Brigade weaponry, and in order to gain access to it, the duo must now defeat a series of fighters that protect the Argyro system, known as the Therions. Sargas defeats rival after rival, eventually gaining
You built Odeon Agrostars too?
enough power to defeat the king of the Therions himself, Regulus, and gains him and Kit access to the might and bounty
I used to play Therion and fucking everything.
of the Dis
I
Coliseum
went on this really, really intense, like, Ethereon craze.
land. The Argyro system, witnessing this shameful defeat of its protectors, launches a group of celestial electric beings upon the two, known as the Sprites, and even charges Regulus's defeated body with Sprite energy to fight back Kit and Sargas. The Argyro
They actually go extremely well together. I'm sure. That's just expensive though. I mean, Odeon is what I need. I think I need just 3 more URs. Just the whatever the level 4 is. That's it. I got 2 of the fusions. Yeah, that's all I need, I think.
Gyro's forces attack,
Oh, we
and
remember.
the rest of the Therions end up taking Kit's side to fight off the Sprites and Regulus's haunted body, led by a gigantic Sprite entity. Thankfully, Kit has already worked on a device that can capture Sprite energy, releasing the thunder-charged madness from Regulus's body and allowing both him and Sargas to defeat the gigantic leader of the Sprite forces,
What's that?
bringing peace back
Good swag.
to the Dis Coliseum and securing enough power to make an attempt to fight the Despia back home. Back
I
on
wanna
the
get a
Sword Soul
second
Summit,
PC, but-
as the Despia invasion begins, a grueling battle ensues, and while the forces of Sword Soul and Despia fight to the death, a different battle takes
So this dude, well, this is oh man, ad libitum, right? But that's really a Cheyenne, ain't it? His dogmatica form, wouldn't that be a Cheyenne who would turns into ad libitum? I feel like yeah.
place deep within the summit's peak. In there lies the power of the Ice Jades, special beings that grant their unique powers to the Sword Soul tribe and help create their weapons. Long Yuan betrays his prodigy Moye and claims her powerful sword. Combining the two swords, Long Yuan becomes sinister, striking a fatal blow at the Sword Soul sovereign, Chengying. Meanwhile, inside the summit, a hole opens revealing a Luber who has made his way into the Sword Soul land.
Luber's clean.
Luber strikes down Albaz with a chain of corrupted holes, but eventually is fought off by Ecclesia. The Empress of the Ice Jade, Cosmochlor, grants the power of the Ice Jade upon Albaz, turning him into Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. The dragon strikes down at Long Yuan's empowered sinister form, while Luber himself turns into a new searing dragon called Lubellion. As the forces collide, the power of the two
I wonder if he just transformed because he did.
is too strong to not be contained.
Like he got the ability just then because Albaz transformed.
The two dragons clash and struggle, but eventually are fused into a single being. The Abyss Dragon, Albalenidus, is born. Back at the capital of Dogmatica, the battle continues. The trio of now Sword Soul warriors is ambushed as they arrive at the church. Fleur-de-Lis, now known as Iris of the Sword Soul tribe, fights the Despia forces and strikes down their leader, Dramaturge. But it was all a mirage, a spectacle. The vision of Dramaturge disappears into a mist, as Queritus, in his draconic form, ridden by the youngest of the Dogmatica saints, the newly anointed Quem, strikes down at Fleur-de-Lis and traps her.
No, they both have the ability to change into different dragons. Oh, okay. Because you know how some people can, like, in certain, like, shows or whatever, they get an ability because the other person does. So, like, oh, shit, well, let me. Yeah, okay.
Quem and Queritus
But he
strike
already
down the
had
saint
the
with all their
ability to
power,
begin with.
fatally wounding her. Aluber and Albaz's combined form begins its path of destruction on what remains of the Sword Soul Summit, destroying everything in its path. And when Aluber feels as though he drew
That's why Luber's after him.
enough of Albaz's powers, he ejects him from the body, causing a huge ball of fire to incinerate what is left of the Ice Jade Kingdom, leaving ruin and agony behind them. Disguised by the mess and the cacophony of the battle, Dramaturge kidnaps Ecclesia and brings her back to Dogmatica to prepare for their last stand against Albaz and his allies.
That's gonna be crazy when we get
As
this
Albaz's
far.
allies gather outside the capital, preparing for the decisive battle, inside, Ecclesia discovers her spiritual sister's fallen body. Saint Fleur-de-Lis is dead. As Ecclesia mourns, Saint Quem watches from close by. Aluber uses Ecclesia's grief to transform her into a dark, tormented being known as Cartesia, the virtuous. But the Despia do not stop there. Countless holes open in the sky.
She's the only survivor that on that explosion. I know. Just one ice jade left. That's crazy.
The draconic abominations known as the Bestials, rulers from another world, joined the fight. Cartesia's power channels through Aluber himself, transforming him into a Bestial, the Bestial Lubellion. Lubellion transforms the power of Dogmatica Nexus at the center of the church into a Bestial superweapon known as Albaz. The weapon rises above the theater, ready to defend the capital. Outside, Sargas's championship that was won at the Discolosseum allowed Kit to create the ultimate Tri-Brigade weapon and bestow Shureg with Bucephalus II, a weapon crafted to deal with the most ferocious enemies imaginable. Sargas launches his new powers upon the Bestial superweapon, while Shureg fires a series of red and blue lightnings at Albaz. The combination of the two powers destroys the Albaz, but Aluber, in his Bestial form, still stands. A new dragon rises by the power
crazy fight
of Cartesia, who creates the Dusk Dragon out of fallen corpses of the ones who dared defy the Dogmatica. Using parts collected from the land of Iron at the Discolosseum, Kit has created a new machine to help the allies, Rindbrum, the Striking Dragon, who flies up to charge at the Bestial Lubellion and in turn at Cartesia as well. Rindbrum aims and fires a lightning strike at Lubellion, but Cartesia, brainwashed and corrupted, uses the wings of Grangignol, the Dusk Dragon, to protect Lubellion from Rindbrum's lightning strike, perishing, and begins falling out of the sky. Albaz jumps down, chasing Cartesia's fallen, lifeless body, and uses his only power left, the blade of the Ice Jades, to try to bring Cartesia back to life, back to being Ecclesia. In the theater, far, far below, a great power has been in production ever since the battle at the Sword Soul Summit. Maximus, now dramaturge of Despia, has deformed and mutated his body in order to put an end to Ecclesia and her allies.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a crazy scene.
Shakes as the theater ceiling opens, revealing a gigantic, grotesque being known as the Dogmatica Albazoa. As he sees the powers of the Bestials led by the Bestial Aluber, Albazoa consumes their power in order to become the one true powerful.
Okay, so let's see. They're right here in the anime. Let's see. I think in this general area. Look how far they're. That's just not going to be done for another year. I feel at the rate that they're going, they're dropping an episode every 3 weeks, some shit like that. It's going to take them a long time to get to this point.
God, Dispatter. On the ground below, Quem, seeing the abomination created by Dramaturge and Aluber, uses her powers to revive the body of the fallen Fleur-de-Lis, corrupting her with a life force, turning her into the Despian Luluwalith. Albaz catches up with Cartesia, and using the light of the Ice Blade, transforms himself and Cartesia into his final form, Albion, the Sanctified Dragon. As Cartesia's blade...
This better not having a summon animation is such a shame. I don't know why he didn't get one from the jump. They dropped the ball on that one. Why wouldn't you give Dispatter an animation? That's kind of weird. Does Masquerade have one? His design looks so damn good. That's what I'm saying. Masquerade doesn't have one, right? No. I mean, really? They could have gave one to Grangignol That would be a clean one too.
Blade hits the ground, the Sanctifier unleashes his brightest, blazing force as Fleur-de-Lis raises her powerful sword and deals a final, fatal blow, killing the Bestial Dispatter.
Yeah, Dispatter looks
The battle
clean as
is
hell.
over. The Despia have been defeated. Aluber now left with only a few allies who follow him, including his faithful servant ad libitum, picks up Cartesia's fallen blade.
That's a
using
shine.
the
I know it is. It has to be a shine.
gem from Cartesia's discarded holy blade. He transforms himself into his true, final form, becoming a dragon king, known as the Bestial Aluber.
So what's he gonna do now? Now that he's the Dragon King, what is he gonna do? He's in his final form. So he's Frieza right now, so he's just gonna chill and that's it?
By fusing the power of the Ice Blade with Ecclesia, Albaz saves her life. She is now able to return to her original self.
I wouldn't just trust that guy just hanging around, to be honest.
The dust settles on Golganda, Dogmatica, and the entire land of the Abyss. As the Allies celebrate the defeat of the Dogmatica and Despia forces, Ecclesia and Albaz bid farewell to the land they once knew, continuing their adventure in search of a new frontier.
Very nice. Alright, I'm gonna get these chopped up soon. I might do these in 2 parts, so I don't know when. But catch you on the next one. Peace.